We've got a sneak preview at a really interesting piece. I mean, Dr. John has always been one of my idols. You know, I go down the list of the people that I've been blessed to work with, and he was one of the ones missing on the list. So I approached him about a year ago to try and us do a piece together, but we never could personally connect. And we were able to connect recently, and I had this idea to do this keyboard that kind of had this really funky New Orleans vibe, at the same time a little voodoo vibe to it, featuring two of his gold records. So Dr. John is really, you know, he's got, you know, severe carpal tunnel syndrome in his hand. If you ever see his other finger, it's been shot off. I mean, literally was shot off in a bar fight. And so he signs his name very, very slow. So individual autographs from Dr. John are extremely rare because it is difficult for him to sign. He's a type of keyboardist. I mean, he really bangs the keys, and so going over to his house, I said, let's do an edition that is extremely limited because it is very difficult for Dr. John to sign. And so the deal was that there would be a limited edition Giclees. These are Giclee prints, which is the highest quality print that can be made. And there are 400 in the signed and numbered edition. And then there are 100 in the special artist proof edition, where Dr. John actually wrote Dr. John the Night Tripper, then drew a crescent moon and a star to symbolize the Crescent City on each one. Now, that is incredibly rare to have that, you know, that extent of an autograph. I mean, in the 25 plus years that I've worked with different celebrities and such, I've never had anybody that's done that extensive of an autograph. And so on 100 of them, he did. Well, to make those 100 even more special, to make them really, really unique, I wanted to add, you know, real gold leafing and some other little special touches. So we're going to show you a little bit of kind of the process of adding the gold leafing to each one, which, if you've seen some of my other videos, I mean, you can see, I mean, it's a very involved process. I mean, it literally, the glue that holds the gold leafing down has to be painted exactly where the gold leafing is going to adhere to, and, you know, nowhere else. And it's a long and very involved process, but that's what makes these particular prints in the edition, these super special edition artist proofs, to be so incredibly valuable. You know, out of the 100, we've had phone calls from more major stars themselves, musicians, that have heard that we're doing this project, that are reserving one for themselves. I mean, you know, recently Dr. John had that incredible tribute at the Sanger Theater where, you know, everybody from Bruce Springsteen to Bonnie Raitt came, you know, to honor him. I mean, you know, and we forget what an enormous influence Dr. John has had, not just over Louisiana music and culture, but just music worldwide. You know, I explain to even younger kids, if they've ever seen the movie, you know, The Princess and the Frog, where, you know, the Disney movie. I mean, Dr. John did the vast majority of the music in that film. I also give him another really unique piece of trivia. I was always a big fan of Jim Henson's and the Muppets, and Jim Henson is quoted as saying that when he came up with the idea for the band for the Muppets, you know, with Animal and all that in the band, that the leader of the band's name is Dr. Teeth, and he came up with it only after seeing Dr. John play in New Orleans. So when you see, next time you see the Muppets and you see Dr. Teeth, what you're really seeing is a rendition of Dr. John. Nothing can compare to the actual vibrancy of, you know, real gold leafing. And it's so delicate. I had applied this morning to the areas, let it dry, and then we'll now expose what are the highlighted areas in real gold leafing to accent his gold records, which, you know, are featured, you know, on the print. The process, as you see, is very involved. Each one is an original work of art. I mean, no two are exactly the same. I mean, there are no two of these that will be exactly the same. There's nothing in the world that can compare to the look of it. So again, there's 100 of these theoretically, but so many people have been reserving them because they heard about Mac, as they call him, you know, not Dr. John, Mac, doing this project with me. That, I mean, some of the names of the people that have reserved this piece are some of the biggest names in music. I mean, it's really, it's you know, it's an honor to actually, you know, be working with them. Always wanting to take it one step further, I decided that I would go and pick select areas within the actual art itself, and individual rhinestones are hand applied to select areas on each one of the artist's proofs. And it is a slow and laborious process that you only get one chance to get it right. Now, what I'll do is also go into the upper areas and lower areas where the stars are and add individual rhinestones depending upon the size of the star. This is a very long process, and so what we're going to show you is we're going to show you a finished one. This is how they'll come. You've got all the individual rhinestones that have been hand applied into the stars in the area. The individually applied gold leaf. Dr. John, the Night Tripper, you know, with the crescent moon and the stars. The framing on this, what we're offering on this, is just your basic museum white and piano black, which just works so perfectly with the print itself. You know, with the vibrancy of the colors, it doesn't compete with it. The 400 prints that are in the collector's edition that he will sign Dr. John are $350 each. They're worth every penny. A gallery would sell them for $1,000 easily. The 100 prints that are in the artist proof edition with the gold leafing, hand-applied rhinestones, along with him signing Dr. John, the Night Tripper, as well as him personally drawing a crescent moon and starburst, those are $950 each. There is literally no telling what a gallery would sell these for. I'd estimate between $3,000 and $4,000. Out of the 100 artist proofs that exist, we probably have 50 as of right now. that are available, with the rest of them going into some of the most famous musicians' homes in the world. And this is really something unique. So my staff said, if we don't do a preview of it, what's going to happen is no one's going to ever even see these artist proofs or even have an opportunity to own one of the artist proofs. And so I said, you know, that's right. It's like, you know, let's go ahead and do this little quick video. Let's show it. Let's get it up on the website really quick. Go ahead and take orders for it, as well as the version that's signed and numbered by him as well, which is the same quality, Giclee, high-end print. And, you know, give everybody, you know, a chance to own something that's so special and so unique. There's your sneak preview of the new piece, the Dr. John piece, the Night Tripper. I love it. I think it's one of the better pieces that I've done. And not only that, it's so special because of all the little unique attributes that go into it. And again, you know, thanks for giving me the opportunity to come visit me in my studio and let me show you a little behind the scenes.